Hello, fellow preppers. 'Tis I, the Rumpledone. Valentine's Day, Thursday, February the 14th, the year 2013. Maybe this video will go viral because I'm drinking water. I know I already talked about it once, but it just still amazes me how much attention was being paid to the fact that a man took a drink of water during a speech. Needed to wet his whistle. I just got done working out. I'm thirsty. But why is that an issue? It just still flabbergasts me. I was reading in Time magazine, they have a article. In fact, I should probably do the Time magazine video. I know how some of you fellow Americans love that publication, but they were talking about Rubio and immigration and all that. I just don't know what these politicians are thinking, but yesterday I kind of got a glimpse of it. Here in Mayberry, they started this group, or they're starting this group, committee. That should have been the giveaway, the word committee, for preparation in case of an earthquake, a tsunami. So as a prepper, I've already started a preppers group here, and it's going strong. We're having great meetings, and everybody's learning things. We're getting to meet fellow preppers. Nice gatherings. Well, see, our group is inclusive. We include everybody. Everybody's part of the group. They can, if they want to call a meeting, they can plan a meeting themselves. It doesn't have to go to committee. But you see, this other group, I guess there was about 5 or 6 of them. Everything was a committee. First they had to call the meeting to order and then approve the agenda, and then they did a motion to approve last meeting's minutes, and then the treasury report. And me and my prepper buddy, I just kept looking over at him. We're like, we sat there for about an hour, and I really don't know what, if anything, got accomplished, other than the fact that they were talking about committees. I mean, they had a good idea. They wanted to have a preparedness fair, maybe in June. Been a perfect time for it. Summer, good weather. But then they thought, well, no, maybe we need to, wait until the fall, which is a bad idea when the rain starts to come. And then they thought, well, maybe we should just wait till next year. So nothing gets done. And I'm thinking, it'd be a great idea. And then they wanted to do something about tsunami, and my buddy says, well, doesn't Mayberry already have this tsunami stuff? Aren't you guys kind of like duplicating the effort, reinventing the wheel? And it was just like that. And then they wanted to have some CERT training, the Community Emergency Response Team. And I said, hey, all you got to do is call, the guy that trained me. He told me, hey, if I can get 10 or 12 people together and have a place to meet, they'll come down and do the training. I mean, it's a no-brainer, but they wanted to somehow get in there. And I told them, I said, there's 2 things I really see that are going on. And number one is that there's all these groups, these preparedness groups, because I guess that's kind of trendy, being prepared now because of preppers, TV shows. And everybody's trying to get on this bandwagon. But you got all these groups going, and they don't even know about each other. And these guys want to be some non-profit. Well, they just got a non-profit for the whole area. At least that's what, from their name. It should be the whole area. And these 2 groups didn't even really know about each other. It's like, well, how do I know about it? I mean, isn't that your job or your mission to know about these things? I know about it because I want to know about all the prepper groups. And then they were talking about all these other things, and my prepper friend brought up the fact that, you better focus on this first, because if you can't communicate in here, there's no point in communicating out there. And then they were talking about getting a list of like the ham radio operators. Well, there's already a ham operator club in the area. You can go online. I think there's everybody with a license. That's a matter of public record. But, you know, when you have that mindset that you got to form a committee, and then to decide if you need to form a committee, and then that committee forms committees, you just understand why nothing gets done in government, or why it takes so long, and why it costs so much. And it's just one of those things where it just flabbergasts me. I mean, I know I go to these meetings, I try to be nice, but I know I always ruffle a feather or two, because I just point out, you know, how idiotic it is. And then, you know, somebody in the area might see this video and take offense, but you know what? I'm just calling it the way I see it. You know, I'm not intending to be offend you, but I'm just calling it the way I see it. Can't apologize for it, because people are too dang sensitive today anyway, and that's part of the reason this country is where it is today. Worrying about feelings instead of getting the job done. Now, I just read a book. It's called, another good buddy of mine told me, I'm reading this book. It's Sacred Cows Make the Best Burgers. They tell how you do have to have a concern for people's feelings, or they won't rally behind you or around you when you need them. They won't be loyal to you. But sometimes you got to break an egg to make an omelet. In fact, all the times you do. I guess I'm just one of them old school, hard-nosed, crack the whip kind of managers. Anyway, the other thing that I talked to this group about was, I said, I like disaster movies, end of the world movies. I just love that genre of movies where it shows society breaking down and gangs roaming the street and burning buildings. I just love that scenario in movies. But I told them, in almost all those movies, there's usually one theme that runs true. There's usually some guy in government, and usually it's a male, who's some egocentric, arrogant, ignorant son of a gun calling the shots. And he's telling them to do this way. And usually his decision gets people killed, or delays progress, or all he's interested in is saving his you-know-what. And he doesn't care about the people. And the fire, we were meeting at the fire hall, and the fire chief was there. I said, that'd be like some government official who doesn't know anything about fire telling the fire chief how to fight fires, or where to go to fight the fires. That's his job. He's got the expertise. He's the man that should decide. And they were like, yeah, we understand that, but, you know, we don't want these government agencies thinking that we think bad of them or anything. You know, once again, are they concerned with the mission, or are they concerned with politics? I was like that other meeting I went to, where the one health organization for this county's worried about offending the other health organization in the other county, when the whole goal of these health organizations is to help the people if they're hurt or have disease, to make them healthy. And they're worried about somebody's feelings. Because I guess, oh, if their feelings get hurt, then they're not going to work with you. They're not going to do the job that they were elected to do, or given the task to do, or hired to do. You know, I call BS on that. If you ain't going to do the job, your feelings, if you ain't that tough, then move aside. Let somebody else do the job. So, okay, this has turned into a rant, I know, but, and then last night, me and my buddy, we were on the phone, we were cracking up. We were saying, yeah, we need to have a committee for this and a committee for that, and let's have a committee to see if we need a committee, and then if we do need a committee, we'll form a committee to review that committee's findings. I mean, that's the lunacy that goes on. I mean, you look at government. You got the elected officials, and then they form committees, and then these committees form committees, and then these committees report back to the committees, and these committees report back to elected officials. I mean, what do you need a committee for? Hey, this is your job. Go do this. You go do that. Come back here in 2 weeks. Okay, now, you get the job done. You get the job done. Okay, here's the decision. Now let's move forward. It's that simple. Committees, just a waste of time in all these meetings. For what? When when the prepper group that I started has a meeting, we have a real simple agenda. It's just like, go around the room, introduce yourself. You know, your name, where you're from, maybe how long you've been prepping. Then it's like, hey, okay, a lot of people are here from for the first time. Do you have any questions about prepping that you're just dying to know the answer to? So that way we include everybody. We make them feel part of the group. And then, so whatever the main agenda is, or the main topic is, then we start talking about it. Last time it was about bugging out. People brought their bug out bags and showed what was in them, talked about the different items, and everybody contributed. People learned. And this time we're going to do one on bugging in, and the reasons, you know, some of the things about bugging in. In fact, somebody sent me an email and said, well, why would you want to bug in? I said, well, what if there's a war going on out there? Or what if there's a flood and you get cut off, you can't leave? What if there's an outbreak of disease? There's many reasons you might want to bug in. What if there's extreme cold and the roads are frozen over? Or the road goes out, you can't go anywhere. So there's a lot of reasons you might have to bug in. So, and then they suggested that I put that on the press release. I go, okay, so I'll issue new press releases, let everybody know that. And they can say, why would you need to bug in? Good question. So, but you see, somebody point out something to me, ask a question, I'll take that information, I'll use it. No, they prompted it. Wasn't my idea, but it's a good idea, we use it. No ego involved. But I tell you, these committees, that's what's wrong with government. Is these committees, because they're exclusive. Once these committees are formed, you know, everybody else gets pushed aside. You know, you don't get the vote, you don't get a say. And that's what's wrong with government, is that you don't get a say. We need a say in government. We're supposed to have these officials that represent us, but how can they represent us if they don't listen to us? The only people they listen to are the ones putting money in their campaign funds. And that's the truth. Politicians aren't dumb. They might do dumb things and stupid things, but they're not dumb. They're not going to bite the hand that feeds them. I mean, look at Obama. Come on. But anyway, I'm drinking this water, so hopefully this video goes viral. Because in the middle of the video, I'm drinking water in my talk. I mean, you just gotta wonder. It's kind of like that Dr. Ben Carlson was saying in his that breakfast meeting at the prayer group or whatever it was. When he was talking about the schools and how if you were to give that 6th grade test that kids had to pass to move on back in the turn of the century, if you had to give it to kids nowadays, high school kids probably wouldn't even pass. That's sad. And all they talk about is more money for the kids in education. See, these politicians are smart. Like I said, they're not stupid. They just do stupid things and dumb things. Because we allow them. We let them get away with it. All you got to do is bring up the kids and all people's hearts. Oh, the kids. Oh, we got to do this for the kids. I saw a thing on Facebook somebody put up on them little posters. And it showed how many kids died from getting shot in schools by assault weapons versus how many kids die from starvation. They go, if you're really concerned for kids, feed them. It's that simple. But a lot of that type of logic is just lost on these elected officials. I swear, when these guys get elected, they must have to take some kind of pill like in the Matrix, and it just makes their mind. Because they just seem to lose common sense. But I know part of the reason is committees. But see, the other part is the old back scratch. Hey man, scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. So we got this bill, but okay, I'll vote for your bill, but you got to put in this pork for me. And the other guy does that. And that's why all these bills have all that pork barrel spending. But you probably already know that. That's not news to you. See, we need to just cut that mess out. We just need to make everything simple. You know, one bill, one subject, period. No these writers and attachments and addendums and no. Amendment, no. We just need to just cut that mess out. And be simple. It's just like unemployment. These numbers are phony. All they got to do is tell us how much is being given in unemployment on a weekly basis or a monthly basis. How much did you cut in unemployment checks? That's all you need to know. And then you can see how unemployment's doing. It'd be an accurate picture. Not these, oh, this many people, you know, were on unemployment this week. No, because those numbers are always fudge. But yeah, that money's coming from somewhere. Those checks are getting cashed. Or those EBT, or whatever they're doing now. I don't really know. I think they're sending checks out. But it'd be real easy to report that. But, you know, then they couldn't play with the numbers and they couldn't make themselves look better. Because, see, they announced the main numbers, which are the lie, and then a couple weeks later the revised numbers come out, but that's back page news. Nobody even thinks about that. But then again, most people don't care. They're like those sheep. They're just going about their everyday business. They don't want to be involved in politics. They just don't. They're too busy. They don't have time for it. They got problems of their own. Politics, that's their problem. I got problems of my own. And then you get these people, these committee people, who get their pictures in the paper and it looks like they're doing good when it's a joke. It's a joke. Yeah, I guess I probably won't get invited back to that committee if anybody from around here watches this video. But, you know, that's okay. Or maybe, just maybe, they might say, you know what? We don't like him, but he kind of makes some sense. Because a lot of times it's better to bring in somebody outside because then they look at things with fresh eyes. That's a lot of times people get mad when they rise up in the company and then it's time for a CEO and they thought they were the shoo-in and they hire somebody from outside the company. Well, see, that's smart business. Well, see, that guy hasn't been indoctrinated with all the company BS over the years. So they can go, you know what, we're not going to do that anymore. Well, we've always done it that way. Yeah, well, we don't need to do it anymore, so nix that. Well, that's somebody's, you know, favorite whatever. Nix it. It doesn't add to the bottom line. It doesn't do anything to make the company profitable. And that's another problem with government. You see, if they need more money, they either print it or raise their taxes. They're not held accountable. I mean, we've let these guys go for over 4 years with no budget. Where's the outrage? What, every day on the news, shouldn't they have, like, you know, this many days without a budget? You know, the congressional report? Maybe I should do that. Maybe there's a website that does that. But why isn't that, like, on the front page of every newspaper? Just to stick it in these guys' faces. Show them what buffoons they are. I don't know. What are we doing as a country, as a people? I mean, are we really like those sheep? I know you've seen those people at Walmart videos. I mean, is that what we've come to? Is that what we've become? I don't know. I don't know. There's no one definitive answer. It's just a lot of little things that we need to change and fix. Like getting rid of committees and just take action. Assign a job to a person, and either they get it done or they don't. Find somebody who can get the job done. Okay, that's enough of this rant. Wake up, America. smell the tyranny and have a drink.